Welcome back to Grim Tale Teller, where shadows hide stories that chill your bones. I'm your host, unearthing the eerie tales you send to grimtaleteller@gmail.com. Tonight we've got a chilling submission straight from the underbelly, courtesy of a 25-year-old woman who claims this unfolded on September 15, 2025, in the depths of the subway system. True? Fabricated? Or something darker lurking beneath? She insists it's real, but you decide. Got a story that keeps you awake? Send it to grimtaleteller@gmail.com. Subscribe, dim the lights, and listen closely. This is her tale of the midnight subway. I'm a 25-year-old woman, keeping this anonymous for now. I'm writing to grimtaleteller@gmail.com because I can't carry this alone. I don't know if it's safe to speak, but the silence is suffocating. It was September 15th, 2025, my umpteenth late-night commute after a grueling shift in the city. The subway's my lifeline, but that night, it became something else. The tunnels hold secrets, and I stumbled into one that won't let go. I never thought a routine late-night commute could turn into a nightmare. It was just another Tuesday, pushing past 1 a.m. in the heart of the city. I'd pulled a double shift at the diner, feet aching, mind numb from slinging greasy plates to drunk office workers. The subway platform at Union Square was a ghost town, empty except for the hum of fluorescent lights flickering like dying fireflies. I swiped my Metro card and stepped onto the downtown 6 train, the doors hissing shut behind me like a sigh of relief. The car was mostly empty. A couple of seats ahead, an old lady clutched her purse, eyes glued to her phone. Across the aisle, a guy in a hoodie scrolled through something on his tablet, earbuds in. I slumped into a seat near the back, staring at the black tunnel walls rushing by. That's when I noticed him for the first time. He was at the far end of the car, standing by the doors, face hidden under the brim of a worn baseball cap. Tall, lanky, dressed in a dark coat that seemed too big for him. He wasn't moving, just watching, not staring exactly, but his head was tilted slightly, like he was listening to a conversation only he could hear. I shook it off. City paranoia. Happens to everyone after midnight. But as the train rattled to the next stop, 14th Street, the old lady got off and the guy with the tablet followed. The car emptied out, leaving just me and him. He didn't move, didn't get off. The doors closed and the train lurched forward again. I glanced back. He was closer now, maybe 3 poles away, hands in his pockets, cap still low. My stomach twisted a little. Okay, that's weird. But hey, subways are full of weirdos. I pulled out my phone, pretended to text, kept one eye on him through the reflection in the window. The next stop was Astor Place. No one got on. The train groaned deeper into the tunnels, the lights dimming for a second like it always does in those older sections. I could feel the air getting thicker, cooler, carrying that faint metallic tang of rust and electricity. He shifted then, stepped forward casually, grabbing the pole nearest to him. Now he was only 1 car length away. I could see his shoes, scuffed work boots, the kind plumbers wear. No logo, no nothing, just ordinary. My heart picked up. I told myself to chill. Maybe he's just heading home, same as me. But when I looked up again, his cap was gone, folded neatly in his hand, and his face, pale as the underbelly of a fish, eyes sunken like they'd been punched in, staring right at me, not blinking. Just those black pits locked on, unblinking, like he was memorizing every freckle on my skin. I stood up without thinking, edged toward the doors at my end. The train squealed into the next station, 3rd Avenue. Empty platform again. I bolted out, feet pounding on the grimy tiles. But as I glanced back through the closing doors, there he was, stepping off the train too, onto the same platform, following. I didn't run full out, not yet. The station was too quiet, too echoey. It'd make me look crazy. Instead, I walked fast, head down, weaving through the turnstiles toward the stairs. Footsteps behind me, measured and steady. Not rushing, but not falling behind either. Like a shadow you can't shake. I hit the street level, the cool September air slapping my face, but it was late. Neon signs buzzing over shuttered shops. A distant siren wailing. No cabs in sight. I turned left, toward my apartment on 2nd, 4 blocks away. Kept my pace brisk, ears straining. He was there, 20 feet back, under every street lamp, coat flapping slightly in the breeze. I ducked into a bodega, pretending to browse the candy aisle when heart hammering against my ribs. The clerk nodded hello, oblivious. Through the glass door, I saw him pause outside, light a cigarette, slow drag, exhale curling like smoke from a grave. Then he moved on, past the store, but in the same direction. I waited 2 minutes. 3. Bought a pack of gum I didn't need. Stepped out, empty sidewalk. Relief washed over me, shaky and short-lived. 2 blocks later, as I crossed 1st Avenue, there he was again, leaning against a hydrant like he'd been waiting. Cap back on now, but those eyes, they gleamed under the brim, catching the headlights of a passing truck. Panic clawed up my throat. I broke into a jog, phone in hand, thumb hovering over 911. But what would I say? Some guy's following me on the subway and now on the street? Sounds like a bad date story. Still, better safe. I hit the button as I rounded the corner onto my block. Old brick walk-ups, fire escapes dripping with rust. The automated voice asked for my emergency. That's when he spoke. First time. Low, gravelly, like rocks grinding in a dryer. You hear it too, don't you? I froze mid-step, phone slipping almost from my sweaty palm. He was right behind me now, close enough that I could smell him. Damp concrete and something sharper, like bleach mixed with blood. I whipped around, backing against a lamppost. Up close, he was worse. Chin stretched tight over cheekbones, lips cracked and colorless. Hear what? I managed, voice barely a whisper. He smiled then, not friendly, more like a crack in ice. Leaned in, breath hot on my ear. The echo. From down below, the one that never stopped screaming. I didn't wait for more. I ran, full sprint, keys jangling, bursting through my building's door and slamming it shut. Deadbolted it, collapsed against the wall, gasping. The operator's voice crackled from the phone. Ma'am, what's your emergency? I hung up, too rattled to explain. Peered through the peephole. Empty street. He was gone. Sleep didn't come easy. I double-checked the locks, shoved a chair under the knob, lay in bed with the lights on, staring at the ceiling cracks that looked like veins. Every creak of the building was him. Footsteps in the hall, a knock that never came. By dawn, exhaustion won, pulling me under into fitful dreams of tunnels collapsing, screams echoing off wet walls. I called in sick to work, spent the day pacing, curtains drawn. No sign of him. Maybe it was nothing. A homeless guy, a hallucination from too little sleep and too much coffee. But that evening, as the sun dipped and the city howled back to life, I had to go out. Groceries at least. Milk was souring in the fridge. Same route earlier this time, 9 p.m., platforms buzzing with commuters. The 6 train pulled in crowded. I squeezed on, found a seat wedged between a mom with a stroller and a teen blasting music. Safe, normal. But as the doors closed and we pulled away, I felt it. That prickle on my neck. I turned slowly. He was there, at the end of the car again. Same coat, same cap. But this time he wasn't alone in my mind. No. The mom shifted, and in the window's reflection, I saw it. His face superimposed over mine. My eyes in those black pits, my smile cracking like his. The echo he mentioned? It was in my head now, faint at first. A woman's voice, gurgling, pleading. Help, the water, he's coming. The train stopped at 14th Street. People shuffled off, on. I stayed glued to my seat, sweat beading on my forehead. He didn't move, neither did the voice. It grew clearer with each clack of the rails. Drowned me in the flood. 1972, unfinished line. Flashes hit me, news clippings I'd never read, grainy photos of a cave-in during subway construction. A young woman's body pulled from the muck, strangled before the walls caved. Unsolved, forgotten. Astor Place, more exodus. The car thinned. He started walking then, pole by pole, casual as a stroll. Passengers didn't notice. They were buried in their worlds. But I did. And in every window, every reflective surface, my face twisted further into his. My hands, his hands, itching to grab, to silence. 3rd Avenue, last chance. I bolted, shoving past a guy with groceries, tumbling onto the platform. Ran up the stairs, lungs burning, bursting into the night. He followed. I heard the footsteps, felt the shadow, but I didn't look back. Made it home, barricaded again. That night, the voice wouldn't stop. It told me everything. Her name was Lena, pushed into a flooded service tunnel by her foreman for asking too many questions about safety. Body hidden in the collapse, and now the echo seeks vessels. Like him, like me. Days blurred. I quit the diner, holed up with canned soup and delivery apps. But the subway was the city's veins. I couldn't avoid it forever. Rent was due, job interviews downtown. Each ride was torture, scanning faces, jumping at shadows. He appeared sporadically, once on the Uptown L, whispering through the crowd. Another time on the Express, his reflection winking from the ads overhead. The voice filled the gaps, narrating Lena's last moments. The foreman's grip like iron, the icy water rising, her screams muffled by mud. He said I'd be quiet forever, she'd rasp in my ear during quiet moments. But the tunnels, remember, they carry us back. One night, desperation peaked. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. I went online digging through archives till my eyes burned. There it was, a digitized police report from '72. Lena Vasquez, 24, missing during a night shift on the never-built extension under the Bowery. Suspected accident, case cold. No suspects. But a detail chilled me. Witnesses saw her arguing with a tall man in a dark coat, work boots caked in clay. Him or me. I confronted the mirror that morning, my face pale, eyes hollowing, lips chapping. The cap fit when I tried it on, borrowed from an ex's forgotten box. His coat? I found one in the thrift shop down the block. Too big, just right. The echo purred approval. Join us. Make it right. Number. I fought it. Therapy apps, sleeping pills, even a priest who called it urban spirits and sprinkled salt. But the pull grew. Late shifts called. I took a gig stocking shelves at a 24-hour market near the tracks. Closing time, 2 a.m. Walk home meant the subway. That night it happened. Empty car again. I boarded alone, sat staring at my hands. Long fingers, unfamiliar. He was there, at the end. But when he approached, cap low, it was like looking at a twin. You hear her now, he said, voice mine. She's tired of waiting. We talked, no, confessed. He was the first vessel, infected decades ago by stumbling into the sealed tunnel as a kid, touching the water. Lena latched on, seeking justice through proxies. Murders in the underbelly, foremen vanishing, throats crushed, bodies dumped in forgotten shafts. Unsolved echoes. Why me? I asked as the train rattled on. We laughed, a wet, bubbling sound. Because you listened, and the city needs more voices. The plans spilled out. The last foreman, retired now, living in a walk-up off Delancey. He'd buried the truth, walked free. Tonight, we'd finish it. I nodded, the echo surging like adrenaline. At Canal Street, we got off together. Walked the blocks in sync, shadows merging under the lamps. His door was unmarked, 3rd floor. We knocked. He answered bleary-eyed, 80-something, face cragged like old leather. Who? But recognition dawned, horror twisting his features. You... The girl, no, impossible. We pushed in. The struggle was brief. Frail bones against our borrowed strength. Hands around his neck, squeezing as the water rose in memory. His eyes bulged, gasping secrets. It was an accident. She knew too much. The union. Lies drowned in gurgles. When it ended, we dragged him down the fire escape into the alley grate that led to the old lines. Splashed into the dark, where the tunnels would swallow him whole. As the echo faded, satisfied for now, I straightened my cap, walked back to the platform. Another train pulled in. Empty car. I stepped on, alone. But am I? The reflection shows it. Her eyes in mine, waiting for the next whisper. The city's underbelly hungers, and the midnight subway runs forever. If you're riding late, watch the shadows. Listen for the echo. It might call your name next. Next stop, yours.
And that's the tale from the midnight subway, as told by our anonymous 25-year-old. Another shadow lifted into the light. Thanks to you, our listeners, and the brave souls who share at grimtaleteller@gmail.com. Was it real? A delusion? The tunnels hold their secrets close. If this story sent a shiver down your spine, subscribe for more. Dim the lights next time and maybe check your reflection. Until then, stay wary of the dark corners. Something might be watching. This has been Grim Tale Teller. Good night, or whatever's left of it.